Hello and welcome to a special Cooking with Rum episode of Mixology Monday. Today I got Lee, I'm Robbie. We're going to be making Coffee Rum Balls. These things are super awesome and they're super easy to make. You'll need the following ingredients: Oreos or Oreos, whatever generic versions out there. White chocolate chips. White chocolate chips can be found in your local grocery store. I got a pack of those for this batch.
Could you use regular chocolate in place of white chocolate if you preferred that over it, or is it white? Does it have to be white chocolate?
It would work just as well, but I don't know if it would look as cool.
So, oh, okay. So
with
there's
the
a
dark
part
Oreo, white chocolate
Gotcha.
outside, the contrasting flavors kind of work. But yes, I did that at home and it worked just fine.
Cool.
I've got cream cheese, that's part of the recipe, 4 ounces of cream cheese for 1 bag of Oreos. And I've got sprinkles, this is optional, so seasonal,
little
Christmas,
decorative stuff
yeah,
on there.
you can make it a holiday thing with that.
Oh, so you're saying you could use like peppermints instead of sprinkles for Christmas time or something like
Yes,
that?
in fact, I did them over Christmas and I blended in this peppermint, we call it candy canes. That's what they call
That's
those
cool.
things. So I put candy canes in it. Most importantly for this, you're gonna need our coffee rum. This is the best coffee rum you'll ever get your hands on, best coffee alcohol you'll ever get your hands on, because it's made with real coffee. We get our coffee from Javeska Coffee and it is phenomenal. So to make this, step one, tools. You're gonna need a food processor. This is a really nice one that I borrowed from my wife, so let's not break it. And you're gonna need a double boiler. Lee has a double boiler from the 1600s here. And that's just so we can melt the chocolate without burning it. It's actually, this is the hardest part, melting the chocolate.
Melting the chocolate?
Yeah. Last tool you will need is a Lee. That's optional, but I've got him today, so he'll be helping me. So, step one, we're gonna add our Oreos.
Is there a difference between a food processor and a blender?
Yes. This one's like,
Fancy.
I think it's like made to be much more intense, but I guess a blender would work. Watch this. It's all looking pretty good. I'm making this a dust.
So why are you crushing it up that fine rather than just lightly crushing it?
You crush it up that fine because then it all mixes things into a dough. You're basically
Okay.
creating Oreo dough.
Gotcha.
So-
Doreo.
The Explorer. All right, so we've got that in. Now I'm putting the cream cheese in. Come on, girl. No, maybe, we'll see. And this is 4 ounces of cream cheese going in here.
And about how many balls are we making here?
So many balls.
At least like 2 balls.
I think it's
maybe 3.
10 balls
10?
get made with this, 8 to 10, depends on how big you make them.
Yeah, so
know?
it's easily scale upable or scale downable.
Everybody I know likes them big, but
I like big balls.
if you want to make small balls, that's fine. Okay, so I've got the Oreos in, I've got the, what else? Cream cheese in, and now I'm gonna add the rum. So, coffee rum, the more the better I would say, but the more coffee rum you add, the more viscous, the more,
It's gonna mess with the texture some.
yeah, you need it to make a ball.
Yeah,
If
you need it to
got-
stay together, stick a little bit.
So I've calculated this down to 1.75 ounces. A full shot glass will work. Any more than that, you're dealing with a soup. You can't make a soup into a ball. Nope, safety. See, it's starting to dough up.
Yeah, it's forming like clumps in there. It's all sticking together.
So all right, we've got this step one completed with all the mixing of the mixing things. We're gonna let some movie magic happen and we'll be right back. All right, folks, we're back.
Back.
We've let our Oreo concoction get cold in the fridge, and that makes it firm and ballable. So we're gonna ball this up, but before we do that, we need to melt our chocolate. So I'm using white chocolate for this. Like Lee mentioned before, we could use the dark chocolate also, but the white chocolate works. In the few times I've made this, I would say This is the most annoying part, melting chocolate. There's ways you can do it in the microwave. I borrowed this from my mother-in-law because she's gracious enough to help me out.
Can you explain what this little thing is?
So this little thing allows us to use hot water just below boiling to melt chocolate.
Okay.
And it will only get up to 212 degrees because that's the boiling point of water.
Gotcha.
So in the microwave, you'll get hot spots and you gotta be careful that you don't scorch or char the chocolate. It becomes like a spongy nonsense that you can't use. So
it's got two different compartments here? Is that what's going on?
so this holds the chocolate, and then below us is the water.
Gotcha.
So we're just gonna let that do its thing, being careful not to boil over or do anything like that. So we're just gonna let that sit. It's gonna take, I don't know, 45 minutes, I think is what it took me at the house. And while we wait for that, we're gonna ball up our rum balls. So Lee, take your bar spoon, because you use that for everything, and follow my lead.
Your lead?
Oh, I see what you did there.
I'm sorry.
So I'm just taking a chunk of this, out of this, and you can do whatever size you want. And then we're just balling it up.
Ballin'.
Make a ball. All right, folks, we're back. We've got our chocolate all melty. Smelling pretty good in there. This is the hardest part for me.
You were saying something about clumps earlier. You don't want clumps in there?
You don't want clumps. You don't want to overheat the chocolate. That's why it's in the water bath, so it's the right temperature. So, Lee, here's toothpicks.
Okay.
Toothpick all of these nice and firmly, jam them right in there, and then I'll snatch them up and dip them.
Cool. Ooh.
And there you have it, folks. You've officially seen our Muddy River Coffee Rum Balls. Hope you loved this video. I really encourage you to go make our balls and try our balls yourself.
Do it.
The recipe will be in the description below, along with playlists and links to our website and all that other cool stuff. Don't forget what Lee said about events coming up, where we make
Lots of
things
cool
like
events.
this. We're actually serving this at an event tonight. And cheers.